I'm your old Rivard, and I want to welcome everybody to the Somerset Library's first history session and series. This is Marvon Shay. Marvon was born in June 1920. He was born where the holiday station was. It used to be the Somerset Motel, which is not there anymore. He was one of 9 children. His father was Bill, who was the postmaster in Somerset for years. And we're asking Marvon to talk about today some of the early things that happened in Somerset. What was it like when he grew up?
Well, like he said, I was one of 9 children, and there was a lot of bootlegging going on in the days, and he had a factory still in every house. And I wrote a few notes of things I wanted to talk about. Well, we got what's floating down the river, but that was later on in years. But I'm the one that started with Dave Grohl, and then where Waterville and I were spearing suckers, and we'd float down over the holes, and then the suckers would go out, see, and they'd come back in. So one of us would float, and the other one would, I think it would do the spearing, see. And Dave come down there one day and was watching us, and he asked me, he says, how down can they float? I said, well, they can go all the way down to Mesa. I said, from then on, water gets still, and you can't float anymore, and it gets deep too, see. And he didn't say anything at all, but then a while later he wanted me to work for him. I was working as Bidu at the Catholic church school, you know, for the sisters. During the summer months I was going to school, so I worked for them. So he asked the father about that, if I could come and work for him in the afternoons. So father said, sure, you know, father about that. Everything's okay with him. But I got older and older in the habit right at the end of the terrace where they had the land. They had put up a fence there. And I'd go across the attic, I'll fold across the hole, and then water would spear him, then water would go in, see. And that's how it happened. They saw me floating there, saw us floating on inner tubes across that. And I told him how far he could go. So about a week later, guys would come to work for him, and he comes from St. Paul or Minneapolis with about 300 tubes. And that's how it started. And we'd float from the dam, the old dam that used to be there, and we'd float all the way down to Mason. And Mason, they had a rope across the water there, because there used to be a dam there years ago, I guess. And there was one deep hole there, and we were a little afraid of that hole, see, so I always made sure everybody stayed over one side, see. And but I got on the dam, because nobody knew how to get off the tubes. So they go over backwards and everywhere, and then we'd lose all the tubes. They go down the river, and we'd get down to the river after he left there, see. And so that's how it started. And it went down for a ways, and River's Edge started then. Then they had both, now everybody does it, I guess.
Wasn't rumor that Dave Grohl had people come in to gamble, and they brought the kids along, and that was their outlet while they gambled? Was the tubing?
Well, no, tubing was the grown-ups. They were mostly grown-ups, and tubing was during the day, and the gambling was at night.
Okay.
And we used to have slot machines, like everything. I would imagine you mostly saw slot machines. And they had slot machines in every nightclub or anything, see. And we did notice from the sheriff, he's coming down that night, so we'd put everything in the kitchen, and he'd look, and no slot machines in there. And I suppose he'd go back and make out his rewards. And then another thing is, Earl Montour, you know him, don't you? I imagine you know Earl. He lived next to us there in town, and he had slot machines, and he and Andrew Leon and us. And they would come to make a robbery at night, you know, somebody would break into the place, and Earl's place, different slot machines are never touched, but the rendezvous and everything else, was all taken, see? So,
Now, when you were as old as these kids here, what were some of the things you did growing up?
well, we chased airplanes. We saw, for the first time we saw airplanes, you know. So we were there, like we kids do, you know, give us a ride and this and that. And that's about what we did. We got a little older than they were when I started catching frogs and so on. But they were almost at that age, I think it was. And we were in grade school, of course. I got some pictures in here of grade school kids, so maybe you know a lot of these kids in that book.
Because of all the rivers, streams, ponds, lakes, people just catch a lot of frogs. So where'd you get rid of them?
Well, that was Gus Bile. Where the heck, how old were we here? He lived right up here.
Yeah, the
Oh,
homes.
yeah, that Palms, yeah.
And he lived up in
But he
Rivard.
lived, he didn't put an X
Yeah.
until he built his house there on the way to Richmond. But we used to sell them to him. And then Henry Cook came along and started buying frogs and hides of deer hides and mink and so on. And so he was competition with Gus. So we get the highest price we possibly could get to for frogs. We're supposed to go to Minnesota because it was against the law. See, it was all right in Wisconsin. But we used to go over there and boy, did we catch the frogs. And I had an old car that I'd take for anything fishing. And we stopped at a station up there. And I told the guy that was with me, I won't tell you what it was. But I just turn on the radio, this as loud as you can, because we'd had enough gas to get home, see. So he turned on the radio and the guy walked around, he listened a little bit, and we got by anyway. But we ended up at 100 frogs. But boy, we go down in the spring, or in the winter time, where the water was open, you know, just frogs. That one place was about that thick, and as big as this building here, just frogs, where they came on just before they got to the lake. So we had a lot of frogs, but then we had to sort them out, see, and that took a long time.
Did you sell to Gus Bile when he lived out in the country there?
Yeah, I sold them to there most of the time here.
Because he had frog legs year round. How did he keep them?
Well, he bought them first of all. Then when he got the pond down there, he had that thing full of pond, then full of frogs. Then he had the farm, and he had that sectioned in, and I called them, the spring water went through there, see?
He had a building with little pens and a spring came
That's right,
through.
yeah.
And it's cold water, so when frogs hit the
Yeah.
cold water, they say,
We'd catch frogs down below, there was some that got away from him, we'd catch them. That was our main way, I guess, to make money.
and then Somerset was known for their frog legs, and some people remember the palms here.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
was his?
That was where Gus Wild started, yeah. And then Grohl and Dave, I guess Dave owned it first.
Now, the bridge was down, so you lived here, you had to walk down to the end of county.
Yeah, it's in Ontario,
And
place, and go right down across the road.
and then you went to St. Anne's.
St. Anne's, yeah.
That was a big school in those days,
It was a big school, yeah, it was a big school in the days,
like
yeah.
4 stories high. It was a tall building. I
Yeah, I
remember.
think first, second, third, 3 stories high, anyway.
And how long did you go there? Through
Going 9 years,
9 years.
8 years, whatever.
8 years?
Whatever my years. Yeah, we had a kindergarten, see? Yeah, we had a kindergarten there.
St. Anne's School at that time was right next to the convent it is today, but it was,
Yeah,
what, 3 or 4 stories high? And
Yeah.
they had a big enrollment then, those days.
they have, the priest would come once a week to the school, ask questions about catechism and so on. Then he'd give a nickel to the one who knew all the answers, you know, and Camille Parent used to be the one that knew all the answers.
Were they tough on you?
No.
All good kids, always behaved?
But we did when his father was around. But he took care of our football, whatever, or basketball, when they were, you know, we bring it up to him. And I remember bringing it up to one time, and he had a call that somebody was sick or dying or something. And he was just sweaty, you know, trying to get me satisfied and get satisfied those kids that are waiting for me, you know, and that people where that person died.
That was Father Baudet.
About how many kids were in your class?
Well, nine graduated.
How many
In high school, it was 9.
Oh, in
in
high
your
school.
class? You know, like when you were in grade school?
Oh,
About how many kids, do you have any idea how many kids
No,
were
I
in your
never
class?
thought of that even. I can name them all, but I don't
25,
think I did
26 in
better.
mine.
And then
Okay.
you went to high school. Where was the high school then?
The old one there, next to where we moved it. When I met
Down
you.
where we're ground now.
Yeah,
And he said, how many were in your class in high school?
9 graduated when I did.
And then football, I was looking at your picture from 1935. What was it like playing with no mask and
Oh,
hard knocks?
we had one time we had, I don't know who we were playing, I think it was Cumberland. And one of our guys, backfield, got hurt, you know. And we got another quarterback in there. I don't remember what it was. I think it was a Virgin or someone that started playing ball for us because we couldn't put it, we didn't have anybody to put in but him, see. And we had to tell the signals in French. We said the Indians didn't understand us at all.
No.
And then Cumberland got into the wing of it too then. And they started doing the same thing, only in at that end. Yeah.
That's funny.
On the picture, I see Deacon Morris was on that team. Morris Martin?
Morris Martin, yeah. Oh, Deacon Morris, yeah. Yeah, every time I go get communion over there, he says, hello, Irvin. He was on my team.
When you went to these, you said you played Cumberland. How did you get there, and how long did it take you to get there?
Didn't take long, because my dad always drove, and Archie's dad drove, and just about 3 or 4 people that had kids in school, and they drove. So Dad said there was always one of us in school anyway.
And all the
So there
games were in
were
the
4.
afternoon, weren't they?
Huh?
All the games were in the
Yeah,
afternoon?
all in the afternoon. We played McDonald High in Triple Falls, but that was the first state game that we ever played. Yeah. And then we got to Montemita, well, we're Montemita. And then Berlin would always say, oh, that little school across the river, see? And it's a great, great big school. But we're gonna come in where, I don't remember where you dressed up, you know? Did you just dress up? It was, they were in, they would start laughing at us, you know, because we only had one shower, and we had a shower with them, and they had a little room, and we had a little room. Well, they got a big kick out of that, and we beat them 13-0.
And who coached during this time?
Berlin was coach of football, and Parnell was a baseball coach. That's about all we had was that. We got baseball after we got basketball after we got the new high school.
Was
But the
Berlin,
new high school, the old high school.
was Berlin your principal also?
Yeah.
And then in football, you won a championship one of those years?
See, I graduated in 37, to be 36.
36.
We won the championship, yeah. But they all thought Somerset, you know, was a small thing, but Leon Vanoss and Tom and Earl Heck here, and all of them played, see. And I hate to play against them, I'll tell you that. And Bill, what's his name, Mason there, Mason Pearson there. And he played a line, you know, and he'd take both of one guy, he'd take a teak pot, his fist down on the backs of old guys, they'd lay down, and he'd go.
And then you were quite an outdoorsman too after that. What kind of things did you do during high school to keep busy?
We did a lot of funning. All the kids, you know, but I'm the one that Mama left have a dog. And I used to get meat to feed the dog from Uncle Dolores and Vanoss and Edmund Parnell and Fred LaGranger. And we hunted that, and we hunted pheasants an awful lot and ducks. And then I started hunting fox, and I started with him. I hunted fox, but I hunted mostly with his brother Jim. And I just wondered if they got in a fight who would win, but now I can see who would win. Unless Jim is big like you.
Yeah, he's much smaller. Okay, well then, about the time you must have been about in high school, Prohibition came.
Yeah.
to Somerset, and Somerset became infamous for the amount of,
Before,
still,
before
I don't
United
think,
School.
you probably weren't involved in that, but
No, I wasn't involved. Mother made beer. She made beer and red beer, which we used to go down to the ball games and watch. We had a bandstand years ago. I don't know if you ever remember that, because I was small. And we'd run, chase each other around like we're kids do, you know, and then after we got about 9 o'clock, everybody was sleeping at the old field. Then they could listen to the band. Father Bodette used to be in the middle of the floor, of the bandstand, you know, and I don't remember whether he played the bass drum or whether he had the flute or whatever he did. But he seemed to be the head one of it. But boy, that place, that hill where Creamery was there, where it used to be the bandstand hill, see, everybody sat there and the bandstand was out in front of you.
and then, when it comes to that prohibition, stills, you said you knew where there were a few?
I knew there was 5 of them that I knew the names of them. One guy, I don't know how you could ever find that still, but they found it. And the older than I were up, bone like everything, on top of the brush pile. He had it underneath the brush pile and right up to the river. And they had to go with boat to get into the honeycomb. So nobody knew it was there. One day he come up, brush pile was all busted up and all the other rings, like you say, was all around the place. They busted everything up, and then somebody had to be telling where everything was. In the houses, you know, there's so many houses that had it, and I knew most of them. And they would find out about it, so somebody's telling them. That's for sure.
And you mentioned you knew of a house over in the next corner, it's not there anymore.
Yeah, house were in town, but I knew all of them in town too,
And when the feds came and broke it, where were you?
right there.
What were you doing?
Just watching them. We used to go in there, we come up on the hill by the church, way on towards the end of the house. I don't remember who lived there. I do, but I won't say. But anyway, we were at grade school. We could see the smoke, boy, way up, a big smoke over there burning that stuff. And we were wondering where it was at. And so after school, we run up there, so we knew where it was then, of course. But I don't know of anybody, very few that didn't have some kind of a still in a house. They made beer and they made whiskey and so on. And then that's how the town got known. We'd go to St. Paul and they'd say, "Oh boy, the land of good beer," you know.
And the reason that people did it is because they were so poor.
No, things were rough everywhere. There was a prohibition, and that's the only place you could get it, see? And everybody sell it, not everybody, just certain ones. Like Armin Manas, I don't know if you know Manas, he was my cousin too, first cousin. But he,
My father-in-law.
huh?
My father-in-law had stills, I know that.
He did?
Yeah, Prosper Rivard.
Was that?
Prosper Rivard.
Prosper, yeah.
Yeah.
But Harmon was selling his whiskey a little bit cheaper than what they were selling around the cities. And they had Kid Can over there in the cities at that time. He was a gangster. And he had figured he had kidnapped this Ham's kid, you know. But they were over at Somerset, and they'd come into Somerset right along. And how did that go? They were there, and Lena, not Lena, Lena's the other girl, Ida. Ida was Armin's wife, and they had the, where are we here? Yeah, going up on Main Street, going up your way there, where you used to go. And so Armin was selling his whiskey a little cheaper than others, so I called come there, something like 3 guys come over, and they got talking, and so they got the car, made the hour and get it in one of them. And what's her name? Did I say her name was? Ida. She kept watching it, see, and they got in the car and away they went across the bridge down there, way on, you know, the bridge they call it. And, then Armistice, Spider coming. Spider always had big cars. Dave Brew, I should say. Maybe I didn't know what Spider was, but it was Dave Brew. And he'd drive big cars, and oh, geez, he'd go fast. And that was all dirt road, and all was a cloud of dust, Armistice said, coming. But he knew what it was, and the guys were holding on to him like that, the two guys in the back. They were going up to Dairyland to kill him, see, and bury him up there. And so I'll tell you how I know it later. But the two guys were holding him, and one day went by, he got up and hollered like that, and we were surprised as Dickens that he already got. And Dave never slowed down. He kept right on going, but he told San Francis. San Francis was a cop then at Somerset. And they told San Francis, and they got in front of our house there, and Jesus, everybody in town was there. And they called Osceola, and then when the car come along, they went over the hill where you get into Osceola. There's a steep hill to go down. And this guy, and that I knew, and his father-in-law, his brother-in-law, he was driving this guy, his brother-in-law was behind, and the other two were on the other side. And him and his brother-in-law left the car there, they put the brakes on the top of the hill, and they run through the woods there. The other two run to the woods, the little woods, but then there's all homes in there, see. They got caught right away, but we never did catch them two guys. So I was working at the prison at that time, and they got a guy in there, and he said something about, I hear you're from Somerset. I said, I know everybody in Somerset. I said, you did, huh? And he says, yeah. And so I asked him if he knew certain ones. He said he knew him, he knew that one, and so on. And then he asked to first, I don't remember what was first, but I asked him, I said, okay, time, I said, you know Armin Bernas? He said, no, I didn't. He walked away, walked up to the main, instead of saying just helping, and I couldn't talk to him for about 2 weeks. And he and I were alone one time in there. And I said, why did you get so hot, puffed and bothered because I mentioned Armin? He said, oh, I just want to think I knew him. And I said, yeah. I said, but you're the one to take him for a ride, aren't you? And he said, yeah, I was. I said, you got nothing to be afraid of me that I'm going to tell, because that's years and years ago. Because I was just a little kid at the time. But he happened to be my uncle. I happened to him and who I took him for a ride. So he told me all about Somerset and who did what and so on. Now he and his brother-in-law went to Somerset. They got some money from Archie, and Archie paid him some money. On the way home, the in-law, he says, oh, you ought to go in there and break in that place. See, I looked it over, nothing to break into Archie's, you know. And but they didn't know that Archie, wherever you walked, and Archie's floor was some kind of still noise, you know, that you'd hear in the house, or this cop would hear it, see. But nobody knew that. And but I saw Walter do it so many times. But anyway, the guy tells him, he says, oh, they doing that to Archie, he's good to us and everything else, he never did anything wrong, he always paid us good. Yeah, I know something about North Dakota anyway. But anyway, here one day, his sister was this guy's wife, calls up and says that he got shot. He wants us, you know what to do with it. He got shot in the hands. Lloyd Argy, was the watchman there. See? Well, they didn't know there was a watchman there. So they had all their guns all. Oh wait, now I'm getting another story in there. Yeah, that happened another time. But they how was I? Yeah, you guys forget me, I forget quite a bit, it comes back to me.
The guy came back at night to rob it, didn't he?
Yeah, he come back that night, Robert, and he reach over the window glass there, then he could reach over the door, see? So he ran and reached over, Roy put the gun on his head and shot him. And away he goes, back to the cities. And that come about. And then, how was that other one? Oh, Russell Roy. I know, you must have known Russell. Didn't you
Heard of
know
him, heard of him.
Willis and Russell, see?
Is that related to?
Willis
Yep.
Roy's a relative.
Willis is right, well, a brother, yeah. And he got into some bunch of, all three of them bums coming into town. They stayed in there for about a week, you know. And we're quite famous for people coming there and staying there and then go one place or the other and stay or sleep on under the bridge or somewhere. But anyway, they got close to Russell, and Russell got close to them, you know, and they decided to rob Archie's. They always rob at Archie's, you know. And so Russell went and told the cop, that's San Francis, and he got a bunch of men, and they all laid on pool tables, they had pool tables in there, so they all laid on there. And the guy, they could hear him talking, you know, the guy breaks in the pool table, pool hall, and all of a sudden all the lights went out. No, they were caught. And they all went to jail, but he sure got the guys.
You know, back, my dad always said there's some really tough guys in town, good boxers, like Alfie Liberty, and I think
Yeah.
in your book you mentioned Jack Raleigh. Maybe you want to talk about some of those times.
Okay, there used to be a Josie George, she was to know them, huh? Yeah, well, Lynn was their son, he took over their place after they passed away.
Yeah.
But, there was a sign between there. And Walter Murphy and Clayton took on Donald Scott. Scott said he could lick both of them, see. So I was there back of there and watched, and I was running around with Walter. Boy, Scott ever hit him twice. They hit each one of them, but they didn't go down, and they made Scott give up. But anyway, that was a big hike out there. Then from then on was just by Jake Hardy's barber shop, you know. Well, this side of it, they were where the fighters would go on 4th of July or opening day of the season of the bridge where they built the bridge. And so they had Jack Boss come into town, and Jack Raleigh was a fighter. You know, he was starting the business, he made a business.
He was a professional fighter.
Yeah, he's professional. But Jack Boss wasn't, he was a farmer. But Jack had heard that Paul Liberty was good. He's better than Alfie and any of the others, see. So, yeah, they started fighting. But holy moly. Jack hit him while he was down one time, so they stopped the fight. But Alfie was getting the worst of it, see. And Willard and I, we used to get above. You know Willard? Nobody knows Willard. I'm a little.
I know what
You know Willard below, didn't you? Yeah. What is your name?
Pardon?
What's your name?
Yvonne, Yvonne Pickwood.
Oh,
Yvonne
yeah.
Pickwood?
Yeah. Oh, you should see the zero on there. The zero point.
Well, yeah, I might have seen that.
I was looking for
Yeah,
it.
the zero's on there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he owned that grocery store next to Vana's.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
That's where I found the salt machine one time.
Well, that was my uncle.
They had broken a rendezvous, and they took all the salt machines, they took hurdles. And so Lauren and I were looking around, walking around, and they had the door open to go into the shed there. And their salt machines were in there. They went in and broke all the glass out of the front, you know, but they never got the money goes in the back too, of the salt machines. See, the tube they call it. And they didn't know anything about the tubes. But they took all the other money. And I went and told that rendezvous, you know, so they already got them. what have I done about anyway? You can talk about anybody in Somerset, and I can tell you a story about them. So,
Then what did you do after you left Somerset? You stayed around a while?
I stayed around for 2 years about, caught some fish, some frogs, I mean. And I was, Joe, by that time, Joe
Shuttle?
Shuttle, yeah, Joe Shuttle was buying frogs, see, and I worked with him at the mining. And I got talking to him, and he says, you know, Mark, he says, I went down there, and he said, that 10-mile creek, and he says, I went there in the spring, and all those frogs that we brought in, they were too small, he'd throw them aside, you know, and he'd keep them. And he says, it'd take one summer for them to grow up. See. And he says, I went there in the fall, and they were all gone. And I'm the one that went over and picked them all up, and he told me that. See. And I had Harold Byrne coming, because my mother made me, otherwise I couldn't get the car to go down to there by Boardman to get the frogs. But because the frogs were scarce that year, oh, they were scarce.
No, you won't find any.
You know,
That takes us through your life. Should we open it up to questions? Any questions you want to ask her?
Just repeat the question then before he answers.
How much did you get for the frogs when you were?
well, he asked me that once, and that was, it started, as low as 10 cents a pound. But it went up to about 30, 35 cents, and sometimes it would go up to about 55 when Henry started, Henry, and I guess, and we started getting more money out of it, see?
We sold ours to Eli Cook.
Huh?
We sold ours to Eli Cook.
Oh, yeah, I bought it, that's right,
Eli
yeah.
Cook bought them too.
Talk about Eli, I was going to get some frogs over at Seacoast, we call it Lunder's Lake, but everybody else calls it Seacoast. And on the way home, I hit the goat.
Oh,
He saw the car coming from that side, and he ran right in front of me and killed him. Oh,
And that was 10 to 30 cents a pound, you said.
about 30 cents a pound, yeah.
You have a question here?
Yeah, you said you had 9 brothers and sisters. How many sisters did you have and how many brothers did you have?
I had 5 brothers and 3 sisters, and then one other brother that died when he was 1 years old. So I didn't know him too much. I
Question?
How did he die?
How did he die?
Let's see, he had asthma. And I don't know if he did have asthma or not, because he seldom hear of asthma nowadays, isn't it?
Yeah, praise God.
Yeah, so I don't know who else had asthma, but my dad did though. Had bad.
Question?
Was he married?
Was he married? Or was he too young
Who?
when he died?
My brother?
No, you.
I
Oh,
married.
oh, hey,
Oh,
yeah, I'm married now.
Yeah,
I wasn't married in school though.
because-
Hold on. 2 kids, 2 girls, yeah. They wanted to come today, and I better not, but maybe nobody's there.
You have grandkids here too, don't you? Somerset schools?
Yeah, I got grandkids, Sean's, Simmons.
Question?
Yeah. Were you the oldest in your family or the youngest?
I was the 3rd from the oldest. And Donald and Elaine died, and Donald died quite young. And then Gladys and Harold died. Then there's Vern and Diane left. So there's 3 of us.
And Bill died.
Huh?
Billy died.
Yeah, I did say Billy, huh?
No,
Oh,
I was in
good darn
Billy's
of all
class.
things, yeah.
Billy and I were in the same class.
Oh, were ya?
Yeah. I was
Oh,
with Harold. Yeah.
Question?
How many classes were in this school you went to?
In grade school,
St. Anne's.
St. Anne, there was 8 classes in a kindergarten. And the priest used to come every week, just as, I don't remember what day it was on, and ask us our catechism. And he'd, once in a while, somebody put up their hands and tell them.
These kids wouldn't know about did you speak French in school or did you speak English in school?
We spoke French, Sister Germaine taught it, but she talked the real French. We were Canadian French, see, and it was altogether different. Like when I started working at the prison, they had a French girl there who started working there too, and we wanted to a bunch of officers went to a night that we're having a party. And I asked her, I says, I used to talk French some. I says, can I speak to you once? She said, sure. And she couldn't let's talk at all. And she told me, she says, over French, that the table and the vedette and things like that, you know. And we just didn't know what they were talking about. And then I was coming on with my bike, and I was over by Lilliers Corner, and two good dressing men stopped me, and he said, you know where Andy Germain is? Something like that. Not Andy Germain, Andy, my Melvin's there. Andy, oh God, Landman. Yeah, you know where Andy Landman lives? And I tried to tell him where, by Melvin's, you know, and, cause I run around with Melvin for all my life. So, gee, they were so excited. Since they left Canada, they hadn't talked to anybody, had new friends.
Oh, sure.
And they were really excited to attack us in the French room.
So if you had kids around and they didn't want you to know what was going on, what'd they speak?
English.
French.
Oh, there, yeah.
You know, he speak French, and the little kids would never know what was going on.
My dad couldn't speak French at all, you know, but he'd understand it. He understood it pretty well.
What nationality was your father?
Irish.
Irish.
Yeah, he was Irish.
When did he come to Somerset?
When did he come, sir? Well, he come quite young. He married my mother. I was working for her mother at the hotel there, and but he went to work with this Parnell. I don't know what Parnell, but they went all the trashing and all that. Then they worked in the woods quite a bit. And, he helped build the Catholic church there, see, and he fell down. When he fell down, someone else fell too. It was one of the flank on him up above. The guy went way down to the bottom, so he got killed. And Dad's stopped over at the balcony there, you know. So he didn't get killed, but he got hurt pretty bad. But he got over it.
Question?
Yeah. How old are your grandkids?
Huh?
How old are your grandkids?
Well, are you going to school here?
We go to school at St. Anne's.
St. Anne's.
That's it. I think he goes to St. Anne's. No.
Who is
I think, no, she goes to school, not gonna go to St. Anne's.
What's his name? What's Sean's son's name?
Sean's was Austin, and but he didn't start school yet. But the girls did. See, he married a woman that had a grown-up girl, and she was in the paper. There was something about AIDS anyway. And she got cut her off.
But she goes to St. Anne's now?
No, I think she goes to college now. She
Oh,
goes,
okay.
right, but the other one had started at St. Anne's, and I can't think.
But you can't think of her name right
Samantha,
now.
Samantha. Samantha Zimmer.
When you were living here when you were younger, did you mostly get around on foot, or did you have bicycles or horses, or did you just bum rides off of people with trucks and
We had
tractors?
cars. We got cars.
Yeah.
And we had, everybody had a bicycle, I guess. I bought one for $1 from some Vales, I don't remember what. And I bought it and I fixed it all up. And you know where Lynn's was there, Josie, they had that bench there, you know. And I come around our house, you know, I ended up with just the handlebars and the seat, both wheels was gone of it. You can see what we had, you know. We had money, we didn't have the money at all to buy anything. But Dad had one of the old Fords to start with, then he got an Essex. There was a beginning of the headache.
I remember a Nash.
That was another headache.
We
Billy,
used to have fun in that one.
did it?
Yeah.
Because Billy was
Right.
was getting it, and he got it too.
I have to interview her and find out what the fun was in those days.
Milton was taking out this girl, the school teacher.
Yes.
You read that how about having it happen all over, but Milton did that. We didn't think of it. Milton did it, and Walter did.
Oh, Walter did too.
Yeah, and then they met in service, so the two of them, they said, funny, they didn't shoot each other. And they were good friends.
Who had the first car in Somerset?
I think Lagrange's and Uncle Thor, Henry Lagrange. Yeah, I think Ann got there on the floor. I know we went over on Suck Honey Truck I, you know, with Tom was driving. And he was, there was, well, 4 or 5 of us there. He said, you promised, Ron? And I was the smallest one, see? And I wonder, what the hell, maybe promised what? And he went 50 miles an hour. Yeah, 50 miles an hour, and I think, I went to all of us promised that we'd never tell. And here I am telling all of you.
I don't think two of
I
those
bet the
guys are
kids would
here.
like to know how much gas was at that time.
Well, Walter and I, you know, we used to take and the station goes up and we get it for nothing.
Well, I don't want to tell the kids that.
They wouldn't lock it, you know, they lock it at the back, so you'd have the whole hole, you'd have at least a gallon of that on, see? And, but we're using Walter's car. Then Rendezvous, I don't know if any of you worked at the, been at Rendezvous, but we, some machines were out, you know, and we used to put a piece of board, cardboard, like go a little bit harder than this, and put it halfway up the shots. And they come down and half would go down and the other half, and then go Louis Couture or the other Couture, yeah, they're both Louis, they're different last name. And they go and they get the money from them, you know, because it says if we're supposed to get 12, and they'd get 5 or something, see? And Oral, they would try to, he says, how the heck did they find out how much it was paying, you know? But Walter and I, then we'd go after school, he'd take a beer can, you know, the thing you open up beer can, and that's how we reached the top, just went over, what stayed there till we come. That was terrible.
How old were you when you took the ride in that car? How old were you?
I would say about 10 or 12,
Okay.
yeah.
And you said the car went 50 miles an hour?
50 miles an hour, because I
How-
was older, because
How fast did cars normally go?
60, I think it's supposed to speed.
But I mean, you said 50 miles an hour was fast?
Yeah, it was
So, what did people regularly go? How fast?
20, 25, 30 maybe. Yeah. I would all meet in church, we fill up that church every Sunday. It's, this thing. And I saw Father was that mad one time. You remember?
did?
I think
I
you
don't
did too.
remember being mad.
They had some bad guy started they had a stag party over in the terrace. And so they got the Angel of Grohl. He was one of them, but there was a whole bunch of Somerset that went there. So. And they looked through the window and they could see all the naked women and men and everything. They had the curtain, well, one curtain was down, but it was up so much that you could see. And so they got had to go, then they called the priest out, Father for that. And he come down, and he never, good man. And he come down, and then Sunday I went to Mass, I didn't know anything about it, see. And they rolled us, they called it a snake hole, and he said, oh, that dirty so-and-so, and he named the names right off. And, did you remember that? Or, you don't, huh?
I don't remember that.
I don't mean to say, I mean, running, because all the women, we come home, my mother told my dad, you're damn lucky you weren't there, boy. Well, I guess he would have gone to hell, boy.
Now, you went to Mass every morning when you were at St. Anne's, didn't you?
St. Anne's, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were
We
every
had Mass
morning.
every single morning.
Every morning went Mass.
Well, I used to walk to school and then go to Mass before.
Yeah.
School, yeah.
We used to have, we'd stop and say allegiance to the flag every
Right.
day.
Yeah.
And I got pictures, like I say, of St. Anne's, of all the girls. It's really odd. Some of them stay with you all the way through, like Raymond Harview and Clarence Parent, and Camilla Parent and Isabel Villel. We stayed at Trinity and Rue Martel also. And we had 2 girls, they were from the Landing Hill area, Margaret Tutke and Gertrude Rutger.
Oh.
I don't know if you know them or not, but they were from around Sand Hill.
Rita, have a question?
I was wondering about food. Were there some favorites, foods that you liked to eat when you were younger that we don't have anymore?
Well, there was frog legs was the main thing. Then we went to opals.
Oh, yes.
You remember opals?
Yeah, I remember ovals.
There's no colored people here. But anyway, opal was real nice. Everybody liked him. They also liked John. I don't remember. But he married Opal anyway. But he went over by our house walking down, and Vern saw him. Vern was pouring. He says, "Hey man, your face is dirty." Can you imagine that?
We didn't see very many colored people in those days, well,
No, you didn't see him. I hadn't seen any.
no.
But we used to go there when we go out. We go out there to eat.
What were the special things that people liked to eat there?
Over there was a barbecue sandwich. They made very good barbecue sandwich. You had chicken, you had some steak, if you wanted. But all the places now were open. Ann's place there, that was a cafe at one time. And Harry Dell's, I suppose you all heard of him. But he was upstairs there, lived upstairs for a while. And then Lynn's was also a cafe. And let's see who else was. There was another cafe. There was 3 of them in town anyway.
Were they still using the old township hall for meetings? And did you ever go to meetings
Over
in that
there,
building?
is it there yet?
It's-
Yeah, that's over on a nail, somewhere in that, up here somewhere. Yeah, where is that town? Where is that? Where the post office was there anyway. The post office should be at Somerset. Right
It's a
down.
dentist, was it?
It was a dentist, yeah, now it's a dentist, and then they moved it up there, see.
To where the palms used to
Yeah.
be.
And the Palms got to be, that's why people come to Somerset so much. So it's a good place to eat, they could get drink if they wanted one, and everything was here for them. And they're close to the cities.
Jerry?
Going back to the food, those days, that's the days that the start serving the frog legs here. Gus Weil
Yeah.
introduced the frog legs to Somerset,
Is that Jerry Below?
the neighborhood.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, but I didn't recognize him. He's damn near as old as I am. Yeah,
Marvin, there's nobody as old as you are.
no, nobody's that old. Huh?
Andy Ganas who just said that.
Oh, is that Andy? Oh, I can tell it'd be Andy. Yeah, I can tell him. But Billmore, his brother, he was a fighter. Oh, he was a fighter. One time he was there and he was half loaded, and he was owner Niggs. And Donald told me about it. And 2, 3, 4 come in from Richmond. And they'll lick every son of us so-and-so from Somerset. And Belmore says, "Well, you're gonna have to show me." And Belmore went out there, but the guy licked Belmore. But then about 3, 4 months later, the guy went over to Ben's across the Marchies, across the road to Marchies. And boy, did Belmore give him like a the guy was crying, everything else. And they were quite old then, at that age, huh? And Clarence used to be a fighter. Him and Donald were friends all the time. Donald's my brother. And I remember them, they got a fight of an us in the halls where we used to meet. And they put barrels out. And you get a barrel here and you got a barrel there and you go start fighting. You remember that? Or don't you never remember that? They used to have a movie over there. That's where the movies were. Vanassus Hall.
Oh, man.
But boy, you couldn't get away from it. You got beat up. They were cruel those days.
Any other questions?
And one thing, Marvin, when Old Highway 64 was there,
Yeah,
and you had to walk, and the car would come across that bridge,
the old bridge.
no, the new bridge,
New bridge, yeah?
and they would go through the railing and down over the top,
Yeah,
bust the railing off,
yeah,
then you had to walk past that open spot going to school.
yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah, I heard about it.
It scared the heck out of you.
My dad can't swim, and he and Frankie Poirier were down there taking the stuff out of on the card for the guy, you know. One guy made it, and now what, 3 guys all together, or 4 guys all together? 3 drowned, and one guy, when Dad pulled him out, he went, Dad said. And so they pulled him out and he made it, see. And we put everything, they put everything over at the Frenchies, you know. They had a feed mill up there. And the guy come up and asked about it, and he says, yeah, you can't, we got all the tools out there. Right? Says, the guy like that, you know, so I got a hammer missing. He said, you son of a gun. He said, say gun. But you know, Frenchie, he says, here you come. We saved your life. We saved you. The other 3 died. We went in, got all the stuff out of the car, and most of it was outside. But that's outside the bridge was shallow, about that deep, see. And no one up there to Dad, you know. Him and Frenchie was small, so he was small anyhow. And then here he comes. We missed the hammer somewhere. And you put $5 by that pile. He said, then you can take the pile. He said, but you can't take it till you put $5 there. So the guy put $5. Frenchie was mad. Oh, geez, he was mad. Yeah. And this Brother Granger in town, I used to go around with Andrew Boyle. I don't know if you knew him or not. Andrew Boyle, redhead, called him Red. And one time we coming out of LaGrange's store, you know, and Fred was working there. All of a sudden, Red starts running, and here comes Fred behind him. He takes Fred over his lap and gives him a damn licking. And I couldn't figure out that. Didn't see Red do anything wrong, you know. I says, well, what the hell did you do? You know, he was out the streets then, you know. And they had that big black, I don't know if you know it or not, that big black dog. You know, so everybody's breaking in, Fred's, probably. And when Fred went by him, he says, you dirties, you know. Fred heard him, and he gave him a licking for that.
Go back in time, do you remember your grandparents?
Yeah, yeah, they were there for a long time. I was 10 years old when my grandpa died. He died on my birthday.
Did he come from Ireland?
No.
Irish?
I think he came from Canada. They all come from Canada.
Okay.
They got, imagine a lot of you people's parents come from there. I know your folks, plus some of your, Henry was your dad's name, huh?
Right.
Yeah, he was, I remember when they built that airplane there, you know, hard fireplace. And they went in there, and saw an airplane, it didn't look like it was as good as what they're flying. I know it would come out on the 4th of July. And I asked him, I says, Thumbmore, I says, did you fly that thing? He said, yeah. He said, we flew there, little wires over there, and we come, and I believed him. But they built it just like you would build an airplane, you know.
Okay, any other questions?
Now, you said that the hotel
Yeah,
was there, was that in the family before your mother and dad got married even?
my mother lived there all her life. See, and Grandpa and Grandma owned that.
They did,
And
okay.
they own they own a bunch of land in town. They own where Uncle Fred is, Ferdinand Belil,
Yeah,
Bro, I mean. not
yeah,
Belil.
Fernando, yeah.
And they own a lot of land. But then they ended up with the Bros, they kept the farm there, and they own that land over by so where they live there now. And they built the hotel there. I don't know if they built the hotel or whether it was there or not.
How many rooms were in there, do you remember?
Oh yeah, because I used to hang clothes with my mother.
Oh,
Upstairs, the hall was real long, you know.
oh,
You
okay.
think, or else outside, when it was all icy. But, let's see. What then? But we were taking half of them as a kids, you know, we were all there.
Yeah.
Bob used to get them $2 and $5 a week.
Oh, I was gonna ask you how much they made, yeah.
Yeah, geez, could I add that?
Yeah.
And Dick Grandpa used to, I got all this look where I came at. Yeah, yeah. Grandpa, where was this far, where Earl Heck's place? He, used furnished water all the way through there,
Really?
yeah. He furnished water and they'd come and pay him, you know, pay my grandpa once a month. And I thought, boy, what a way of making money, you know, Gee, that was nice. But it wasn't so much fun when it had a line, they'd get somebody to have to dig it up. And Clarence Harvey was the main one, because he could dig like everything. How the hell was that there? Did you, what that, well, you were laid here all your life through that, huh?
Yeah.
What the hell else? He was the calmest guy, the easiest guy there was. I once saw his brother, I think it was your brother, that I saw that time we hitchhiked over to Park Isle? Or with Archie's? It was Archie's bunch, huh? Yeah.
They were calm and collected though, were they?
He was, their family was, yeah. They had a big family, and every one of them were nice persons, I'll tell you that. They didn't say anything wrong about Somerset. They'd have to enter the Belills. They used to have the Belills and Parnell. No, is that what it was? Belills, Parnell baseball game every 4th of July?
Hardview, isn't it?
Huh?
Hardview?
No,
Parnell.
the Belills and
Weren't your parents that way?
yeah, parents. All parents in the shade had bowling against each other.
Okay.
Oh, the Belills and the Hardviews were the fighters.
Yeah, the
And the
fighters.
Belills and the
But the
Parnells.
Argos were fighters, they weren't afraid of anybody. No, they weren't afraid of anybody. No.
Question?
What happened to the hotel?
The hotel, they tore it down and all that's, how do you call it, or the
Holiday.
Holiday Station is. In that corner. Now you just have to move that, take the snow out of the sidewalk on one side and then the other. The longest sidewalk in Somerset.
Well, I think that we'll wrap up the speaking part of it. If you have questions, if you want to come up and share stories and ask questions and that on an individual basis, that would be good right now. And wondering if some of you have heard of the photos that we're trying to identify. The Stillwater, or I should say the Washington County Historical Society has photos.
Way over there.
And you have a library card?
The extent of my brain.
Yeah?
You see something on it lately?
We had a good security that we had boxed in. We had a 30-30. I asked that where he got it.